sitting on the computer. Um, and then I have my copy that I wanted to do. So let me get my copy together. Boom. Okay, I feel like it's doing things. Okay. I'm so excited. Oh, I haven't been this excited since like yesterday. Uh, Okay, so now I gotta hit a button there. Okay, I think I. Okay, there's a lot of. Okay, says now says we're streaming live. I don't know why I'm whispering. I not exactly sure why I'm whispering. It felt effective.
It is effective. I'm
It's like
that whether or not anybody is looking or watching.
right. It was like, what are we doing here? Okay, we're on.
Okay.
So if you are watching the replay, fast forward through like the first 6 minutes. This is us just getting our tech lives together. And thus far, the internet has supported us in our efforts. So I'm excited. So we're off to a banging start. We're like, we can like hang up now and it's still a win, you know? Oh, all the things. It's so good to see your face in the place. It's so good to see your face in the place. Oh, look, we have people tuning in. And it's more than just me and you.
Thank goodness.
Hey, Kim. Oh, hold on, I gotta do a like. I have a command. Do you have a command station? Because I totally have a command station. I got like 3 screens going.
I don't have
Oh,
I am
come on, Ruby.
you are.
We got to get you some extra screens.
That's why you're looking like this.
Oh yeah, because I have my questions over here. I'm looking at you, and then I have the live feed going here.
Yeah.
So the whole thing and light ring on a cool setting.
Okay.
Mhm.
I need a light ring. It does make you look good. Your skin is glowing.
Thank you. It's a lot of blush. It's a lot of bronzer. I have on like 3 blushes right now. Minimum 3 blushes. Minimum 3. Yeah, so I was teaching a webinar for O'Reilly Media. And so like it was one of those like larger webinars, like 150 people on the line or whatever. And I'm doing the thing and doing the thing. And this woman sends me a private chat that was like, you need a light ring. And it was like a link to a light ring on Amazon. And I was like, well, damn. And
Okay. I guess I need a light ring.
well, I was like, well, with that, I guess my next stop is light ring.
I probably need a light ring too.
I'm like, oh, okay. So now that that was your feedback in the middle of this thing that is, I'm doing stuff on,
Yeah.
that's get a light ring. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So needless to say, I got a light ring.
Well, it looks good on you.
Thank you. Thank you. And as a photographer, that makes me feel really good. Thank you. I feel like, you know, playing to win today. Playing to win today. Okay, hold on. Let me drink a little more vitamin water. And I'm ready. I'm ready. We 1 minute and counting, everyone. Look alive. Hello, Cece. Hello, Monica. Oh, I mean, I'm having an exciting Monday. I am like so excited. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. All right, 1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute. Get ready. Get
Okay.
ready. Get ready. Get ready to mic drop. You know,
Ready to drop the mic.
you're ready to drop the mic. Um, yes. Oh, look. So Kim's here. Who else is here? All right. Hey, Monica. All right. 3 o'clock on the dot. Very exciting. Thank you all. I am Keita Williams. I am the founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Success Bully is an elite accountability practice, so that makes me your personal professional butt kicker. I know we have a lot of new people in the group, so I just wanted to take a moment to tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do here. What do I do all day? So I am, in fact, a professional butt kicker. Success Bully, we are a coaching practice, and we focus in on goal setting and accountability. So we've never been about the squish. And so I shouldn't make fun of the squish because there's a place for that. But in the sense of, if you are on the road to self discovery, I'm not the coach for you. If you have very clear goals and what you want to accomplish, whether it's within your business or within making pivots in your personal life, I am the coach for you because we're really great at breaking down goals. We have a tracking system and a really great way to hold you accountable so you can achieve your goals. So that's what we do here at Success Bully. And that has spun off into corporate workshops. So I come to your job and harass you around goal setting and performance reviews. We have one-on-one coaching. To be on my one-on-one roster, you have to actually apply to join our one-on-one roster at this point. On our one-on-one roster, we are only working with clients that are moving from the six-figure to seven-figure range in their business. So that's what we're doing one-on-one. And then our groups, we have groups of various sizes and entrepreneurs at various stages. So there's going to be more and more and more on that. So for everyone that's new, that's what we do here at Success Bully, and we have a lot of fun doing it. I believe Cece and Monica can agree to that. Y'all agree? Before we jump into everything, I want to just flag for you all that we have another challenge starting, and that starts on December 14th. So 7 days from now, mark your calendar. Make sure you sign up. The 5 days of focus challenge is for our aspiring corporate escape artists. So this particular challenge is dedicated to our side hustlers who are looking to scale that side hustle and possibly retire from corporate. This is something that I did in 2019. I was able to do it in 8 months. So we have developed a system to help our side hustlers make that switch. So if you are interested in the challenge, you want to sign up at successbully.com/challenge or reach out to your personal concierge, Cece or Monica. If you guys could go ahead and put in the comments what letters you own. We have divided the group by first name. So Monica will let you know who she's responsible for, and Cece will let you know in the comments who she's responsible for. Look for a friend request from us, and also look for messages from our team. We want to definitely help you get registered for the challenge. Make sure you have your workbook and materials so that you can show up and have a good time next week. Now, let me catch my breath. I said a lot. I need a nap. Said a lot. / There's a, oh, excuse me. Jared said / It's not successbully.com / It's / Thank you, Jared. I'd be lost without you. Successbully.com / challenge. All right. So I am so absolutely thrilled to welcome Ruby Somera to the show. Ruby has been a longtime Success Bully supporter. And as a matter of fact, when I was first setting my sails off on this adventure, Ruby was one of those people that really truly believed in my big vision and definitely helped us bring that to life. And if there are photos of me that you particularly like, even though I'm wildly photogenic, they were done by Ruby. Like if there's a photo that you clicked on and you liked, Ruby did it. So Ruby is a brand strategist, designer, and personal branding photographer. She's also a Storybrand certified copywriter. So anything and everything branding, Ruby is your go-to. And it's never too early to think about your brand, whether you are thinking about it from the perspective of your side hustle, your business, or even your personal brand, right? So some of us need to really get intentional about our personal brands as we're building visibility within the corporate space. So she likes to help purpose-driven entrepreneurs build custom strategies designed to create impactful brands that'll stand out in the noisy market. Oh, I love this copy. I love it. What? You must be a copywriter. Ruby's mastery is in combining your brand's unique story narrative along with intentional design elements that align with your big vision in order for you to build a meaningful connection between you and your ideal customer. Come on now, Ruby. I love it. She mixes the science of human behavior with a holistic approach rooted from a place of genuine empathy and compassion. Now, Ruby,
Hey.
longtime fan, first time caller. Longtime fan, first time caller. So I want to hear more about your background and how you shifted from your corporate career into Ruby Somera Design Studio. So how did you make that shift?
Yeah, so I'm really excited to be here, and thank you so much. Yeah, so I started my career in the corporate world as a fashion designer. So I worked for a big lifestyle brand,
Mm-hmm.
and part of my job, so I was one of the design leaders. One part of my business was to sell ideas to our leadership team and to our sales force. And I had to sell based on like an aspiration. So there was nothing that was going to happen unless they gave me the green light, and it was a lot of money on the table, basically. So I had to sell ideas. So I was doing that for a really long time, and for 16 years. And then I realized that I was very unfulfilled in my job in the corporate world. It was a long time, and I was sort of feeling like a square peg trying to fit into a round hole. I found myself on a daily basis asking myself, what is my plan B? What's next for me? So I started doing photography as a side hustle. And I started doing that for free for people, just as a creative outlet, since I was feeling so unfulfilled at my corporate job. And then I started getting paid clients. So then I built a website. And then one day I got laid off my job. And then and I already had a website built. So I was basically ready to go to the next thing, and the universe provided for me. So that's basically how I got started in the entrepreneurial world.
I I so love that, because sometimes I think that it's so funny that like I think there are a lot of folks that prepare for like over prepare and want to have these perfect magical moments to launch their business, and they need the stars to align before they fully commit to it, and then sometimes you're just forced into it. It happens. The
Yeah.
decision was made for you to go full time in your business.
And I wanted it. I wanted it, but I was too afraid. I had just bought a house. I mean, what the hell?
Right.
But
Bad timing.
I wasn't going to quit my job, right? So
Right.
it hadn't happened, but really the stars were aligned. The stars had aligned, and I was asking the question, like, what's plan B? What is it going to be? And so this was it. And then from there, I don't know, it's all started to come together.
That's so amazing. And I think that that's such I think there are a lot of folks that are kind of sitting with that. What is plan B?
Yeah.
What is next? And especially now in 2020, there was, I am not creative enough to write the script of what 2020 has been. A lot of decisions are being forced upon us about, how we live, we work, we connect, and even, whole industries are disappearing.
Yep.
So there are a lot of folks
Yeah.
asking what's next and having to ask that question. And that's why I'm oh so passionate about always have a side hustle.
Yeah.
Always have a way, because even in an up economy, the rug can be pulled out from underneath you.
Yeah. 100%.
So, oh my goodness. So all the things. So, who is your ideal client, and how did you kind of like land on the clients that you truly enjoy working with?
So my ideal client are women, female entrepreneurs who have a gift or a talent that they feel compelled to share with the world, to positively impact the world, to share their gifts with the world in a way that's going to fulfill them and to make the world a better place, basically. So I like working with dreamers and visionaries and people who have something to share but have no idea how to get started or what to do next.
So when should so this group is made up of a lot of entrepreneurs, side hustlers, and I like to call them corporate climbers.
Yeah.
So when should they reach out to you? When is the best time to start thinking about branding?
So it can be from a point of brand business business development,
Mhm.
like I have an idea, but I have no idea if it's, if I can make money doing it, or if it's something that too many people are doing, or like how can I do this but differently? There seems like there's a lot of these kind of businesses already out there,
Mhm.
but I'm really good at this and I really love it. So there's that stage, or there's the I have a business idea. I know exactly what I'm doing. I have my whole agenda laid out, my business plan and my mission. But I need a website. I need a strategy. I need my brand to be put together, the foundation.
Okay. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So then, let's talk about, I think there is I like to have this clarification moment. There's branding, there's marketing, there's public relations, right?
Right.
So how would you define the difference between branding, marketing, and public relations?
Okay. So branding is like the feeling of your brand, like the emotional side of your brand, right? So
Hmm.
it's like creating that bond, that connection with people, with others, with, with your ideal customer. Marketing is when you're selling the product that your brand has to sell. So
Hmm.
marketing is when you say, branding is when you say, this is who I am, this is my mission, this is what I do. Marketing is when you say, this is what I'm selling. Would you like one? Or would you like a piece of this?
Would you like to give me your credit card number?
Yes, exactly. And then PR is like getting it all out there. So, finding all of your platforms and making sure that your voice is getting heard and standing out.
I love it. I love it
Yeah.
because I do think that, like, you know, as entrepreneurs, they're usually what you start your business around is that thing you're really good at,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And then there's all these other things you got to do that you're not good at.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah.
the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, the CMO, the CFO, you're the janitor, you're the
Yeah. The chief everything
salesperson.
officer. Yeah.
Yes, chief everything officer.
Yeah.
And like I think that this is definitely something like early on that I struggled with, where it was like, yeah, I'm a PR person, that's what my background is in, so I was really good at go 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 go, but not necessarily really good at what it should look like when we go go go, right? um and so then I know on your website, because I like to cyber stalk people. It's one of my passions. It's one of my being nosy is a key ingredient for me. What are some of those things that you would say inspire an audience? Like, how do you inspire your ideal audience? Like, what are some of those elements that you would think that any brand should consider to really attract their ideal customers?
Yeah. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to really know who your customer is, because you can't inspire them if you don't
If you don't know them.
I mean, and you can't inspire if you're trying to inspire the whole world, right?
Mhm, mhm,
Your language, the conversation becomes diluted when you're trying to talk to everybody and please everybody. And that's a big mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs have. They think that they especially when they're just starting out, anybody they want anybody to pay them. They'll take money from anybody, when in
mhm.
reality you won't, because then you'll realize how unhappy that person makes you,
Mm,
and how they're nickel and diming you or whatever. They don't value you. It's not a mutual, like
mhm,
a strong exchange, in that energy. Uh, so I think that when you're inspiring your ideal customer, you want to know who they are, what problems they have, what they're thinking about,
mhm,
what they're feeling in their heart, like from a very emotional place, what they think about when they're sleeping in bed at night, what they're worrying about, and then using those exact words, that language, to connect
mhm.
to your ideal customer, and letting them know that you understand them, that you are there for them, that you get what their problems are, and this is the solution.
I
You know.
love it. I love because I think that, and I remember starting out, it was like you're like boiling the ocean. Like, I want to help everybody. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'm gonna tell you right now. No, you do not. You do not. And the whole idea of like your niche is rich.
Yeah.
The more
Yes.
and like I feel like we're niching down even like and we're going into year 4. Can you believe it?
Yes.
We're going into year 4, and like even in year 4 it's like, okay, well, like we have enough experience, we're like, I didn't like doing that thing, so I don't have to
Yeah.
do that anymore. And
Yeah.
there's some level of iteration, but like the niching down and being more specific, then I can identify with you, I can answer your questions, I can connect with you in a more meaningful way, rather than I want to help everybody and help no one.
Meanwhile, help no one at the same time.
Meanwhile, help no
Yeah.
one, and then your business account has no money in it either.
Yes. Oh
Uh,
my.
and that's well, one of the things. And I've been on this whole like kick around like And, there's nothing wrong with assigning value. And this is something that, like, as I started, and we've had this conversation, I think, a couple times around, like, as you're building your business, that not every client is for you.
No.
Not every client is for you. Like, there comes a point where the fish that wash up on shore are not the ones you want. you know, you, you,
Exactly.
they're on the shore for a reason.
Yes, exactly. And they're
Yeah,
not going to value you. They
they're
are
not.
not going to value you.
Yes. So how do you go fishing? So, like, that's like my thing. Like, yeah, like, once you know who your ideal client is, like, how do you get in front of them? How do you cast your line?
Oh goodness. How do you cast your line? Well, you got to know where they're hanging out, first of all, right?
There's that.
You got to know where they're hanging out, and then you got to use that language, that conversational language that's like going to really connect with them. That's where copywriting comes in, because it's not necessarily. I think that a lot of what people do is over explain their business and over explain what they do, and they get excited about talking about it, but people don't really want to hear about you.
Right.
They
Right.
want to hear about themselves. And so if you're going to
Their favorite topic.
that's their favorite topic, and it's the truth. Like, you can be in a conversation with somebody and you can just be like talking about yourself and all the things that you do, and it might not they might be thinking about like where their next coffee is going to come from. You know what I mean? You've already lost them. It's too noisy. When you start engaging with people, your ideal customer, in a way where you're like asking them questions, and then talking about their problems, and then you can bring in how I solve problems. I mean, like, that's the best way to. I just like the sun.
I would say, but you have a sun-kissed glow.
It's like it was gloomy when we first started, and now it's like
And
I've got
thank you, sun. Thank you.
Right, that's really good timing. But anyway, yeah, and basically, it's just reaching those people through meaningful conversations. If I'm gonna, a lot of people don't want to be salesy when they're trying to
Yeah.
cast out, right? It's not. Nobody wants to be sold to. And so if
Right.
you're going to cast your net or cast your line in, it has to be from the perspective of like understanding and compassion, and
Oh, that is
and then
powerful.
you're salesy.
Yeah. Well, I also think, like, that's also the piece that I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs drop the ball on, and self included, where, like, the sales part of it is not always sexy.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
Like, yes, you're having these conversations, but if you are not consistently having sales conversations where, like, you're solving the problem and you're being personal, but if you don't sell anything, you're an eccentric hobbyist.
exactly, and
You're a hobbyist.
I've run into people who are so afraid of selling that, but that's the thing, that you don't. It doesn't have to be salesy if you're coming from a place of compassion. If you are compassionately trying to help somebody, then you have to gain your authority. You have to gain authority by saying, I understand you. I understand where you're coming from. That's empathy, right? That's when you say, I've been there, or I've seen this happen before to others, and that is your problem, and I know how to solve that problem. It's not selling. It is selling, but it's not selling from a used car salesman kind
Well,
of
it's like,
thing.
sign on the dotted line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All in your face and all the big eyes. And all that. No, it's saying, there's no other way for people to know about you unless you tell people, right? So
Oh,
you have to tell people about yourself. You have
oh,
to.
I love it. Can we get some of these comments? Can we capture some of this in the comments? Like, I'm gonna rewatch this because you're like blowing my head open. Like, I think that that empathy piece and understanding. And when I think about the clients that I really truly enjoy working with, they're the ones that I connect really well with, where I can, like, I hear you. I understand you're frazzled.
Yep.
I understand that you have a big vision and you're struggling to stick with it, or being really hyper targeted in what makes sense for you based on what's going on in your life, right? That like, there are a lot of balls that need to stay in the air,
Yeah.
but so I think that that empathy and that connection is so important. But also, like, the consistency factor around sales, and this is something Come back next week, y'all. 5 days of focus challenge. I'm gonna kick that butt around consistency when it comes to sales. But yeah, that like business development is planting seeds.
Yeah.
And just
Exactly.
like you plant tomato seeds today, you have zero expectation of going out in the garden and having ripe, juicy tomatoes tomorrow. You
Exactly.
know, your business is always 90 days ahead of you. So like what you're doing right now. So if you are chilling right now, expect to have a shitty March.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Expect
There
to
is
have a
no
shitty
telling.
March. Oh, I cursed. My mama's not gonna like that. Sorry, mom. Sorry. Tell me
Uh-oh.
to stop the cursing. Stop the cursing on camera. Sorry, mom. But it's true. Like the things that you're doing right now are going to impact you 90 days out.
Yeah.
And so now, you know, we're doing things. Let's talk about audience building. Let's talk about audience building because, like, again, the newsletter that I do open and read is your newsletter. The Instagram that I like to click on, and when I have time, put a comment on is yours. So let's talk about what is your approach to kind of like building that community, building that footprint. I know, like, especially for some of our side hustlers that are trying to do it all, they don't necessarily have a team just yet. Like, how do you approach it so it's manageable?
You have to know what you stand for.
Tell them, Ruby. Everyone, say it one more time for the people in the back.
You have to know what you stand for, because if you don't have that, if you're not speaking your truth, it's gonna feel like work. It's gonna feel like work. And we are not entrepreneurs because we want to work. We are entrepreneurs because we want freedom from work. We
If
want
I wanted to work, I would go to work.
you can get a job.
I'll get a job. I'll show up and go to job.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, you know what you stand for, and you enjoy it, and you stay committed to having that same conversation, that consistency where everybody knows what to expect from Kita. Like, she is a professional butt kicker. She's gonna make sure that she's holding me accountable. Like, I know what you stand for, and you're not. This is like a no BS approach. It is black and white. I'm not going to put any fluff around it, and you're going to be straight up. I know what you stand for, right? Like, everybody who is starting their business has something that they stand for, but they stray and they start seeing what other people are doing,
Yep.
and they start comparing themselves, and they want to be like the other guy because they're successful, but they're successful because they're staying in their lane,
Oh,
right?
tell them. That gave me the goosebumps. Because, you know, like sometimes I'll look, it's when I take my blinders off that I get real dissatisfied. You know, like comparison is such a thief. And especially in the space of your big vision as it pertains to your business, that you go, oh, you look at this little shiny tactic that they're doing over here, but you don't see that it took them 36 months to perfect that shiny tactic, you know? You don't see how many times it failed before it finally worked.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Yeah. When you start comparing yourself, or if somebody starts to launch an idea that you had and you were going to do that, and then you're just like, you're so thrown off that you give up before you even started. And it would be different no matter what. The way that you would do something is going to be different. And the people that you're talking to are different than who they're talking to. Right. And we want people to be successful. We
yes.
want the other guy to do well, right? There is, I mean, like, obviously, you know this, it's a mindset thing. You have to know that there is enough for everybody. There
Oh
are
yeah.
a lot of shops out there.
Abundance all around. Well, I have this whole, like, one of my things that I like to yell on the internet, because that sometimes I feel like I'm yelling on the internet. Is that the idea that entrepreneurship is 80% head game, 20%
Yeah.
execution?
Yeah.
That, like, if you think something's not going to work, you're right.
Yep. Oh,
You're right.
100%.
If you think you're going to fail, you're right.
Yeah.
If you think you're going to win, you're right.
Yep.
You're
Yes.
right.
Yes.
If you think that this person, if you start spending other people's money for them, we're like, oh, they'll never afford this, and so you just kind of count them out. They
Yeah.
will, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. That is so good. Like, it is 80% what's in your head, what you're thinking, what you believe is the truth.
Oh,
What
absolutely,
you believe is,
absolutely.
yeah.
And I believe that we're both multi-million dollar business owners.
Okay.
So that's what I believe. I believe for us both. I believe for us both. So like again, kind of circling back to this, like, okay, so we know what we stand for. And so what are your best practices to build that consistency piece? Because like that the consistency with anything you do, how do you make it easy enough for it to be a habit when you are approaching your community building and your content and your showing everybody you're here? How do
Yeah.
you make that super simple? And
Yeah. I mean, it's, we're solo. I mean, there are a lot of solopreneurs out there, right? They're
yeah.
doing it all themselves. And the thing that you have to focus on is what you do best, what your brand is about. You have to know your foundation, right?
Hmm.
The foundation is your brand. Those are the bones. That's
Okay.
the mission. That's what you're sticking to, your why, right? And you communicate that, you stick to that why, and you don't start veering off. So understanding who you're talking to,
Hmm.
doing only what is fun for you, right? I mean,
Only what's fun for you. You heard it.
you got to do what's fun, because if it's not fun, it's a chore, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if it's not fun and you still have to do it, find a way to make it fun, or you have to like give it away. You have to you have somebody else do it, delegate it to something else. But I think that finding a way to make the things that you need to do fun, then you'll more likely be consistent at continuing to do it.
I
Right?
love it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make some stuff fun, team Monica, Fifi. I have fun. I have fun. So now let's talk big vision. Let's talk big
Yeah.
vision. So like first I want to start with, I feel like we all had to pivot our business based on, all that has happened in 2020. So how did you have to recalibrate when the world went topsy-turvy?
That was so crazy. That was
Mhm.
such a crazy time. Yeah. So for me, after the panic, the
Right.
initial panic of everything shutting down in the world, like the toilet paper. I mean, are we
Right.
going to have where's the
What's
toilet
going on with the toilet paper?
and the beans? Oh my God. No wonder there's not enough toilet. Anyway, um, so I think that after, the initial panic, it was basically, what is this the perfect opportunity for?
Hmm.
What is this the perfect opportunity for? Because it, like we just talked about, it is a mindset thing, and you can go down and like spiral out of control in your head and think my business is going to fail and I never even made it to 5 years or whatever it is. And for me, it was that there are a lot of people losing their jobs, and that
Hmm.
there are a lot of people that probably needed my help to get to that next level, right? And so it switched from people that already had businesses and needed, help with their businesses, to helping people that had no idea where to go next.
Okay. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So then what's your big, hairy, audacious goal? Where are you taking all of this? What's next? Because I'll harass you about it. It's kind of a thing.
My whole thing, my values are like, my core values are like having freedom and
Hmm.
having space to live and being happy. So for me, it's like always like down that journey, what makes me happy, what brings me the most joy. And I think it's really having free time and doing the things that I love. So not I was in the workaholic, I was a workaholic before,
Hmm.
and it does not serve me. So for me, it's like creating more passive income
Okay.
and creating more freedom for myself. So
I love it. I love it. So let's talk about freedom. What
yeah.
does your freedom look like? Is it like, what do you do all day with that freedom? I need to know.
I mean, yeah, what does freedom look like? For me, it's just
Uh-huh.
not feeling tied down, not feeling stressed out, not feeling like
Hmm.
that ball in your stomach that's always like,
Hmm.
oh, waking up and like feeling like, oh God, there's so much shit to do. And whatever. Like, so for me, freedom is like having a relief from that and feeling like, oh yeah, I can do all the things and still have time to take care of myself and my family. And I can work from anywhere in the world, and all is well.
Listen, My whole pre-pandemic, I thought I would be a digital nomad this year,
Yeah.
and I was going to go try on some cities.
Oh.
Um, Here we are in Bellevue, just hanging. Here we are. Here we are. Uh, but like, I think that what's been really interesting is that the what hasn't changed for me, the how has.
Right.
So like my what still remained intact. It was okay, so now how do we do this in a new world? And I think
Yeah.
when we think about 2021, let's be honest, we're gonna have more of the same.
Right.
Since nobody could stay home for Thanksgiving, this could go on another year, right? The economy is not going to rebound quickly, but we can work on ourselves. We can work on like how we approach this. We can approach things differently, but we at least have an idea of what to expect. The working remote, the kids being home for homeschooling. We know what to expect. It's not all like the wild, wild west anymore.
Exactly. It feels more normal. Now
Yeah.
this is normal.
The idea of putting on pants and going somewhere, that feels less than normal.
I know. I don't know how to walk in heels anymore. Honestly,
I,
like I have to tell myself, move your hips.
I haven't worn heels since February.
Oh yeah, me neither.
Haven't worn them.
I've tried and it feels like I'm walking in stilts. Honestly, I have no idea how to do it.
I started giving myself themes for a couple weeks during the pandemic, and one week I had a theme where I was just in cocktail frocks for every Zoom meeting. But I would have on like pajama bottoms
Yeah,
under the cocktail frock, so
yeah,
I couldn't fully commit.
yeah.
So yeah, heels are out of the. That's not happening. Not going back to that. So then, when you think about your big vision and what that looks like in 2021, so more freedom, more
Yeah.
freedom. How are you tackling that goal daily? What does that look like for you when you break it down into your day to day?
One of the things that I've really put a lot of emphasis on in my life is to pay more attention to myself and my
Mhm.
mental state, basically. So creating that space to take walks and to do things where I can think things through. When I'm in like that anxious, like I got to get things done, I can't leave my desk, all of that, like I'm so unproductive, and I get into that panic mode, and it's not, the work isn't that great because
Right, right.
I'm trying to get it done, I'm just trying to crank it out. I find that the more space I give myself, like the more focused I can be. So just to do what I need to do, I can get done in less time now
Hmm.
because I give myself more time to like relax and like calm down, ground myself, right? So my daily goals are to, write in my journal and map everything out in a way that is really, really like bite size.
I
You
love
know,
it.
map out the whole entire week at the beginning of the week and then just see how it looks and what I can really get done.
Yeah, I think this is, you know, uh, going to go big on the productivity hacks. That's an amazing productivity hack in the
Yeah.
sense of, I think we call it time honesty.
Yeah.
And that some part of the frustration, especially for entrepreneurs, is that you have these really long to-do lists and you're really unrealistic with what you can get done in a day.
Yeah.
And then
It,
you're rolling a balance, you're rolling a balance, you're rolling a balance, and it feels like you're not getting anything done. And then you're just busy and you're
yeah.
not actually doing things that move your business forward because you're trying to knock out this to-do list that wasn't really that important any damn way.
I know. No. Yeah. Exactly.
So I think that when you're kind of thinking about your approach to the week, I do like a CEO Sunday and we map out the whole week
Yeah.
and that, so like that's my jam is CEO Sunday because like I like to start Monday, know where I'm going.
Yeah.
So like how do you protect your time? Like how do you kind of when you have that your strategy for the week, how do you stay the course with that plan for the week?
Yeah. Sometimes that can be hard. And
Mhm.
obviously it's hard. Um, I think that the biggest thing for me is to give myself um, that space that I need, that
Mhm.
grace to
Mhm.
to move through the day and just like, okay, if I need, and like, this is for real, like if I need a nap,
Take a dang on nap.
right? And I'm not gonna feel like, I mean, it's hard because it's like that mental thing where I should be working and it's hard to relax once you start laying down. But honestly, it really it comes down to just allowing myself to move more freely and check on my calendar every once in a while, but make sure that like the most important things that I need to get done during the day get done, right?
Hmm.
And then everything else comes afterward.
Oh yeah. I have a top six.
Yeah,
My to-do list is only six things.
yeah,
Daily to-do list is six things.
yeah.
Of those six, three gotta make me some money.
Oh,
Uh
yes, yes.
because you can do a whole bunch of busy stuff and nothing drives
Yeah,
revenue. So yeah, so I keep it to six. And if I'm an all-star and I knock those
great.
six out, there's always something else to do.
Right. There's
Never
always
run out of
something else
stuff.
to do. There's always something else to
Always
do.
something else to do in your business. I find that sometimes I have to shut it off
Yeah,
where I'm
yeah.
like, we're done. Today
We're
we're
done.
done. We're
Yeah,
we're done for the day. So
yeah.
are there any other like productivity hacks that you'd like to share?
One of the things that I really think is important, and I don't always do this, but I realize the benefit of it. Um, I like to, at the end of the day, write down all the things I did accomplish.
Ooh,
Instead of writing down all the things I didn't get done, or like
I
kind of
like
focusing
that.
all my energy on everything that I didn't get done and then
Mhm.
feeling panic, and then you're all in this panic stage, and then you wake up the next day and you're like stressed out and panic,
Mhm.
to go to sleep saying, oh yeah, these are all the things I did accomplish today, right? These are the things that I did get done, and then feel proud of yourself. And then you can go to sleep a lot more relaxed.
Ooh, I like
I
that.
like that.
I might have to add that to my repertoire.
Yeah. It's kind of like counting your blessings at the end of the day, right? Like, this is like, these are my accomplishments. I didn't fail.
There-
I don't suck. I don't need to quit, right?
well, like my new thing is I fail at least 3 times a week.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all good. You're still here. You still look good.
Still, put on some red lipstick, keep it going.
I know.
Fall flat on my face and still keep it going.
You're
Well,
gonna
like
survive.
one of my running jokes is like I couldn't quit if I wanted to,
Yeah.
because the internet won't let me. If you Google me right now, everything successfully comes up. If you Google professional butt kicker Seattle, we own that SEO. Like I couldn't quit if I wanted to. I would have to change my name and leave the country.
Yeah.
And so let's talk lightning round. You ready? These are
Oh.
my questions about nothing. Okay. Um, I don't know if you've heard me rant about this. Is one of my other things I yell about on the internet. The double-edged sword of being brilliant.
Oh.
The double-edged sword of being brilliant in that and when you're brilliant, when you're in the gifted and talented track, you never run out of ideas. Never run out of them. You can overthink yourself out of stuff. If
Exactly.
I'm driving up your driveway, type beep beep in the comments if I'm hitting a little too close to home. So what are some of your tips for kind of like narrowing that focus when you are like brilliant? Because you're obviously brilliant.
Narrowing the focus.
Hmm.
Narrowing the focus when you're really brilliant.
Yes.
I think just staying the course. I think, just making sure that like you are always following that, like what that you're going after, and then shedding the things that don't like that don't serve you, that are too much, that are overwhelming you, like either delegating them or sourcing them out or something like that, but just focusing on your lane and staying in your course, and following your vision, and making sure you're consistent with your like your brand and your values, and everything that people expect to see and hear from you. That's what you should offer up. How am I how am I inspiring people today? How can I motivate people today? What more can I do for to make myself recognizable as a brand? And the more that you do that, the more consistently you do that, the more people will remember you, and you want to be remembered.
How am I inspiring people today? Today's warmed my whole heart, my whole entire heart. All right. So leaders are readers. What are you currently reading? What's on your bookshelf?
Oh, God. I just got done with, I don't want to be all pretentious right now. I did literally
Fine.
just get done with Becoming. So listening
Okay.
to that
Hmm.
on Audible, but right now I've been listening to the Jen Sincero. You know who Jen Sincero is?
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
badass.
Hmm.
Yeah, just getting into that.
I like it.
Then I read a lot of fiction, I have to say.
I jump around.
Yeah.
So like I jump around like when I do my guilty pleasure reading,
Yes. Oh God.
my trashy guilty pleasure reading is like
Really?
James Patterson novels with like a bottle of wine.
Yes. Oh
Well,
yes.
it's like cover to cover,
Yep.
reading about some ridiculous police murder mystery thing. Where like it's always tied in a nice neat bow at the end. Uh, that's my trashy reading. And then, I'm all over the place in terms of reading about leadership. What am I reading right now? Just like I pick up a book and then like I'm reading a little bit about mindset, or I'm like
Yeah.
rereading positive intelligence because we're doing training on that. And so like um I am a jumper arounder.
Yes.
So what is, if you had to give us a golden nugget,
Oh.
if you wanted to impart, you wanted to leave us with a golden nugget or your mic drop. Oh, we should call it a mic drop. Okay, so if you were going to mic drop for this community of goal getters, what is your mic drop advice you'd give them?
Pay attention to the foundation and the core of your business, which is your brand. That is how you are going to connect with people and create meaningful, long lasting relationships with your ideal customer. I mean, that is it. Like when you know who you're talking to, your brand will become more recognizable. You will stand out from the noise. You'll make yourself known to the people who need you the most. You'll weed out all the people that are trying to like energy suck you, or nickel and dime you. And you're going to be like, you'll be 100 times more successful if you do this than try to navigate your brand by just being a business.
Done. Mic drop, mic drop. Okay, okay, okay. So now let's say we need some Ruby in our lives. We
Okay.
need some Ruby on a consistent basis. So how do we get in? How do we subscribe to your newsletter?
Oh, so you can go to my website,
Mm-hmm.
Ruby Somera, www.rubysamara.com, and you could pick up one of my freebies. You can email me directly, ruby@rubysamara.com, or yeah, just start following me and DM me on Instagram at Ruby Somera Design Studio.
I love it. And Ruby's Instagram is lit. I think that's what the young people say. It's lit. Is that what the youth says? the young people. Okay. And then you're working on a really cool project. You're doing mini lifestyle brand photo shoot sessions. You have a few spots available for that. So tell us more about it.
Yep. So that is happening on, December 21st. And it's just a way to give people an opportunity to, show up in one place, and 20 minutes of your time and a selection of photos. And you get 3 photos to take home with you to use on social media, to use as your brand, your new brand profile, or on your websites, but professional photos by me. And if you like Kita's photos, you'll get something similar, or
Where you look
not.
happy and successful.
You'll look happy and successful, like you're busy. I'm on the phone, I'm drinking coffee.
Yeah. And happy and successful. That's what, whenever I look at my photos that you did, I look happy and successful.
They're still some of my favorite photos.
I look at the sun and my hair, and I'm like, oh, Ruby, got it all. Yes. So, and Monica put your website in the comments. So you can go to rubysamara.com to connect more with Ruby. Follow her on all the socials. If you need some inspiration during the day, Ruby's Instagram, there have been times I've been scrolling and I'm like, yep, I needed that. Thank you, Ruby. I should text her, but she's busy. You know, I should text her, but she's busy. So thank you, Ruby. Thank you for joining us. Once again, I am Keita Williams. I am the founder and chief strategist of Successfully. And Successfully, we are an elite accountability practice. Make sure you reach out to your concierges, Monica and Cece, and get signed up for our 5 days of focus challenge, which starts next Monday, December 14th. And that is dedicated to our aspiring corporate escape artists. So if you are looking for a strategy and some of our best practices to get yourself in the mindset and put together a plan so that you can decide to retire. So you can hang it up. Come on back here next week and join us for the challenge. And you can do that at successbully.com/challenge. Thank you, Jarrett. All right, y'all. Let's get after it. Bye. Stop the live stream.